This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here. It's a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We have some good news for drivers. I-465 finally reopening this morning.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about the lanes that go eastbound, northbound on the southeast side between I-65 and I-70. That's been closed for about 2 weeks. It was set to reopen Saturday originally, but they had to push that back due to the rain we got. But you can see here a little GIF there on your screen. They did open this early. That happened last night. So this is great news for your morning drive. You don't have to deal with that closure anymore. Traffic should be more free flowing as well as on the detour route. But we're going to have another closure on 465 coming up next week. So we're going to be talking about that as well.
We want to take a turn now. It was an extremely violent weekend in Indianapolis. 3 children left dead, 2 teenagers, a 3-month-old baby. One person has been arrested in the death of that 3-month-old baby and his uncle, but police continue to search for the killer of those 2 teenagers from Friday morning.
So we're going to be updating you on both of those shooting situations and let you know how you can help police in those cases. But we do want to take a turn right now to our forecast, bring in Todd Klassen, who gets A+++ for the weekend forecast. It was beautiful.
Job well done.
I was kind of contemplating yesterday afternoon. I really should call in sick tomorrow because it's so nice out here right now. It's like
you
just
wanted to stay up all night and enjoy it.
You just didn't want it to end, right? But we're here.
Here we are, yeah.
And unfortunately, the weather's not as good today. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day. As you can see, some rain already streaming from south to north here across central Indiana. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. And this is just the start of what's going to be a fairly wet day for us. The wettest half of the day will be the middle half of the day, so kind of keep that in mind for your lunch plans and then towards the evening commute. And with the clouds and the showers around, temperatures a little cooler today than average, right around 73 degrees, but definitely have that umbrella handy as you walk out the door this morning. But we do have some pretty nice days ahead in our 7-day planning forecast. Just kind of a little bit of a wet start here to the work week.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, I know one group that is probably looking forward to this rainfall because it will mean the grass will grow, and it's these guys.
Right there on your screen. Our Erin Lish is going to be digging deeper into our classroom to career series we've been doing here all month long on Good Morning Indiana, and she's going to be looking at how students are learning a little bit more about the ag industry and the economics of the ag industry and having a farm by having this goat farm at their school. She's going to be talking with students in Spencer and Owen Community Schools about this goat farm project they have and what they're learning from it and how that applies to life after school. So we'll be hearing from her. That's more in our Hiring Hoosiers coming up here in Good Morning Indiana. Plus we have your news, weather, and traffic to start your Monday.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good Morning Indiana. A vigil held to remember 2 teenagers killed in a shooting over the weekend. Their mother's message to the person responsible.
And a transit line from the Circle City to the Windy City will now be permanent. What you need to know about the new bus route.
Plus, the date for banning e-cigarettes for one Indiana city is being pushed back. Coming up, we'll tell you the reason for that delay. But first, it is 4:30 here on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey, and we want to bring in Todd Klassen. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day after a beautiful weekend of weather. We do have a little bit of rain in the forecast.
Yeah, you know, quite a bit of rain. Some areas could probably see about an inch of rain here throughout the course of the day today. That's not everybody, but a lot of you will get into some pretty steady rain and potentially some heavier rainfall later on this afternoon. But here's the good news. While there could be maybe a rumble of thunder, we are not expecting any severe weather throughout the day today. But here's where the rain is coming down right now. Some pretty good downpours in and around the Bloomington area. Then as you work north up I-69 into Morgan County, Martinsville, some pretty good rain there through a good chunk of Morgan County. And then as we continue across parts of central Indiana, it's kind of cleared out of the Lake Monroe area for right now. But here's the bigger picture. So we have this rain moving from south to north. And as we expand out, there's this batch of rain that's moving from west to east and kind of lifting towards Michigan. That's part of a cold front. And then there's yet more rain off to our west. And all this is going to be coming our way over the next 24 to 36 hours. So it's not going to be a steady rain all day long, but when it does rain, it has the potential to be fairly heavy in spots. We're in the 60s and 70s here this morning. So as mentioned earlier, grab the umbrella as you walk out the door. You're likely going to need it at some point here throughout the day today. Kind of a cooler day for us as well, with high temperatures that'll only be in the low 70s. The time now, 4:31, time for a first look at traffic. traffic on this Monday morning. Here's Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And we mentioned this at the top of the show, but we wanted to show you that opening here of I-465. This is in Emerson Avenue in the Beech Grove area. Both directions back open this morning. That is welcome news to drivers who are on the southeast side of town, so good news there. Let's take a different turn right now. Look at some construction. This is on I-65 near 71st Street. You see the barrels there on your screen. Traffic is still moving along smoothly on the northwest side, both northbound and southbound here. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays and keep you updated this morning.
An emotional vigil was held at the Postbrook Apartments near 42nd and Post Road Sunday night. It was the spot where two teens, Ashlyn and Nicholas Nelson, were killed Friday morning.
The community joining together, creating this memorial outside of their apartment. Many stood side by side with candles, balloons, showing their support for Antonia Bailey, the mother of Ashlyn and Nicholas. She wore a t-shirt with both their photos on it and the date 8/23/2019. The crowd listened as Bailey spoke just a few words through the tears, thanking them for their love and support. She also has a message for the person who is responsible.
Children were stolen from me. They were stolen from the world, and they were amazing. I tried my hardest to protect them, but I couldn't. But they are amazing. And to the individual who did it, please turn yourself in. If anyone sees him, please do not harm him. Call the police. I don't want any more violence. We don't need any more bloodshed. And I'm mad as hell. I'm mad, but I forgive you. I do.
Community leaders who spoke at the vigil called on fathers to step up and be a part of their children's lives and mentor our young men. Family members shared with the crowd that Ashlyn and Nicholas were good kids who focused on their schoolwork, had big dreams, and were always with caring adults.
And this morning, police continue to ask for your help finding this man. They say he is the person of interest in the deaths of Ashlyn and Nicholas. Take a close look at your screen. Police released these surveillance photos showing a person seen running away from the apartment complex. If you know who this person could be or where you could find them, please contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
At 4:34, a woman is dead after being ejected from her vehicle in a crash on Interstate 70. Emergency crews were called to the eastbound lanes near the Rural Street exit just before 5 o'clock Sunday morning. When they arrived, they found 28-year-old Caitlin McWilliams lying in the road and one vehicle badly damaged. McWilliams was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators believe she went off the road and hit a concrete median wall. She was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown through the front windshield. Police do believe that alcohol was a factor in that crash.
Gas stations are changing the way you pay at the pump. New technology that requires you to use the chip reader on your credit card instead of swiping the magnetic strip is meant to help prevent skimming. Skimmers at gas station pumps have become a common way for thieves to steal your money.
I'm not a big fan of the chip, but I do like the added security of it.
Anybody that'll help our security, I'm all for, because everybody's out there to steal something.
You'll find these changes at Kroger and Speedway gas stations.
Well, a bus company is planning to make its route from Chicago to Indianapolis permanent. Last month, the company Our Bus started trial service after Amtrak ended the Hoosier State line connecting Chicago to Indy. Our Bus co-founder says the company is also going to try a route between Chicago and Ann Arbor, Michigan, targeting students at the University of Michigan.
This morning, students and staff at Eastern Green Elementary and Middle School will return to class. A hazmat situation sent several people to the hospital and shut down the school on Thursday. The superintendent says a laminator in the middle school library may have caused the air quality issues. School officials say the laminator was in a room that was not properly ventilated, and it may have released ozone and caused the illnesses. Officials say the school has been tested and no harmful substances were found.
At 4:36, Columbus is joining the list of cities banning the use of e-cigarettes in public places, but the effective date is being delayed. The Columbus City Council moved to vote to the date to mid-October so they can add an exemption for vape shops. Indianapolis, South Bend, and Carmel have also added e-cigarettes to their local smoking restrictions.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's initiative to connect you to jobs, resources, and training. And happening today, the second annual Indy Pride Career Fair will be held at the Indiana Historical Society. The event is designed to gather Central Indiana's inclusive employers and provide various career opportunities. Companies like Chase Bank, Eli Lilly, Honda Manufacturing, and more will all be at this year's fair looking to hire. It runs from 11 to 2 and is free to attend.
Well, today is the final day for international leaders to meet at the G7 summit in France. Just after the break, the confusion over trade negotiations.
And traffic can make us all run a little bit late, but coming up, how one study says it's costing us both time and money. Todd.
And Meredith, grab the umbrella as you walk out the door here this morning, as we will be dealing with periods of rain off and on this Storm Team 6 alert day. Rain to the south, rain to the west, and it's all heading in our direction. We'll talk all about it as the morning goes on. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Storm Team 6 working for you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time right now is 4:40 here on your Monday morning, and we do have some construction I want to alert you to here on the north side of town. The entrance ramp is closed for a little bit of road work right now, eastbound I-465 at Michigan Road. This is scheduled to last until 6 a.m. this morning, but overall traffic in that area is still traveling up to speed on the north side. We'll continue to monitor things and keep you updated.
The trade war between the U.S. and China continues to escalate as global stock markets fall just one day after President Trump appeared to have second thoughts about his latest actions. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi is in Washington with more.
This morning, the trade war between the U.S. and China setting off ripples of uncertainty and sending stock markets around the globe tumbling. Tensions escalated sharply between Beijing and Washington Friday ahead of the weekend's Group of Seven summit. Surrounded by world leaders in France, President Trump insisting he's not facing pressure from U.S. allies over the trade war.
No, not at all. I haven't heard them. I think they respect the trade war. It has to happen.
But then Trump making a rare admission, signaling regret over his latest actions.
Any second thoughts on escalating the trade war with China?
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Second thoughts?
Might as well.
The White House quickly pushing back, insisting the president's remarks were misunderstood.
Again, he doesn't have second thoughts about what he's done. If anything, he wanted to clarify if he had second thoughts, it would be to raise the tariffs.
Trump appears to be striking a more conciliatory tone towards the Chinese, dropping for now his threat on declaring an economic emergency to force U.S. companies out of China.
We're getting along very well with China right now. We're talking. I think they want to make a deal much more than I do.
The trade war with China is already hitting U.S. consumers even before the new tariffs were announced Friday. J.P. Morgan estimated American families will pay an average of $1,000 a year more because of the higher tariffs on China. And earlier today, Chinese officials calling for calm negotiations to end the trade dispute, also in an effort to de-escalate the tit-for-tat tariff hikes. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump now has two challengers for the 2020 presidential Republican nomination.
Conservative radio host and former Illinois Representative Joe Walsh made his announcement yesterday. Walsh declared his primary run Sunday on ABC's This Week and then released this campaign ad called Be Brave on his website. Former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld was the first to launch a primary challenge. Former Representative Mark Sanford also says that he's considering jumping into that race.
Movie producer Harvey Weinstein will appear in court today regarding multiple sexual assault charges. He will have an arraignment proceeding on an indictment which has not been made public. Today's hearing could also take up his request to have the trial moved out of New York City. His defense team argues he cannot get a fair trial in the city due to media coverage. He has pleaded not guilty to the 5 felony charges against him. Weinstein's trial is set to start September 9th.
Actor Leonardo DiCaprio is giving millions of dollars to help save the Amazon rainforest from those raging wildfires. His foundation is pledging $5 million to help the damaged rainforest. Fires have surged in the Amazon this year, and experts say more than 1.5 soccer fields worth of forest burn up every day. The Amazon produces about 20% of the Earth's oxygen and is considered vital to slowing global warming. The money will be given to organizations fighting the fires and provide relief to the impacted communities. Time right now is 4:44. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Todd?
Yeah, we're in alert mode, Lauren, for the potential of rain here off and on throughout the day today. We have some scattered showers just moving in right now, but as you see here with our percentages, the rain really starts to peak here mid-morning into the early afternoon hours. So this does include your lunch hour. Keep that in mind as you start to plan out your day ahead. And then as we work our way into the evening hours, we'll start to see our rain chances decrease, but some scattered showers will linger into the 6 and 9 o'clock hour as well. So overall, has the potential to be a fairly wet day for us here across the area. And here's what's happening right now. The heaviest of the rain just north of Bloomington and IU right now. As you make your way over towards the Ellettsville area, it rains a little bit heavier, not quite into the Spencer area. And then as you work your way eastward through Monroe County into Brown County, some light rain falling there towards the Nashville area. Some light rain now in Martinsville, Morgantown, over into the Franklin area as well. And this is all lifting to the north, and it will probably impact here the metro area within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. But the rest of central Indiana to the north and east, you're fairly dry at this hour. But here's the situation. Off to our west, we have this area of low pressure, which is going to move through northern Indiana into northern portions of lower Michigan. Then you have this wave of rain that's going to be making its way in our direction as well. So it's not going to be a solid, consistent rain throughout the entire day. There are some dry hours where you may be able to get out and about, but you always have to keep that Storm Shield app handy. Not so much today for the potential of any warnings. I don't think we're going to get into any severe weather, but it has that interactive radar on it as well that you can see where it's raining in your neighborhood. So here we go into the tail end of the morning commute. You notice the showers are increasing. Here we go into midday with some showers and storms moving through. Then the front kind of slides through the area anywhere between probably about 2 o'clock in western locations and then 4 o'clock off towards the east. And that's when we deal with the heaviest of the rain and the best potential for seeing maybe a little bit of lightning and some rumbles of thunder, obviously with that lightning moving through. And then we just taper it off to scattered showers off and on throughout the evening hours. So it's just one of those days. Yes, you just got to have the rain gear with you at all times, even though you won't have to walk around with that umbrella up for the entire day. 70 degrees right now, so it's a little bit warmer than the past few mornings across the area. And temperatures currently sit in the 60s and 70s. 65 right now in Richmond, 71 in Bloomington. And as the day goes on, temperatures, honestly, they really don't do a whole lot throughout the day today just because of that cloud cover and the rain that we'll be dealing with. We'll be in the 70s from really start to finish. 70 right now. We probably only see the temperature go up, honestly, 3 or 4 degrees throughout the entire day today. Then overnight tonight, temperatures only fall back down into the 70s. So there is not a big temperature spread here throughout the day, unlike yesterday when we started off in the 50s in many locations and got all the way up into the 80s. Tomorrow, the first half of the day starts potentially a little wet with some showers and storms, but then it gets much brighter as the day goes on. And once we get into that sunshine tomorrow afternoon, it sets us up for a beautiful stretch of weather Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then eventually into your Labor Day weekend. Some scattered showers and storms on Saturday, but overall, a pretty decent Labor Day ahead with temperatures running just a couple degrees below normal. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic for your morning drive. This is a live picture at I-465 and I-74 over on the west side of town. Traffic here is moving along up to speed. No major issues for your morning commute. Let's take a look right now at our drive times heading in from the east side of town. No delays from Post Road to I-65 at the north split. A 10-minute drive. So everything there is traveling up to speed here. Southbound I-69, a 13-minute commute from State Road 13 all the way down to the I-465 ramps. Let's take a look right now up on the north side of town where I am monitoring a little bit of construction. I-465 and Michigan Road. The entrance ramp going to the eastbound lanes is blocked until 6 a.m. this morning. So just use caution as you're heading out.
Lauren, here's something drivers won't want to hear. Traffic is not only costing them time, but money. A study by Texas A&M found that we are spending almost $1,000 a year in traffic. It also says we spend an average of 2.5 days a year sitting stopped in our cars. About a third of those delays are happening during overnights and midday. Traffic is only expected to get more costly with a projected increase of 20% over the next few years.
An announcement that took Colts fans by surprise over the weekend, the retirement of Andrew Luck. After the break, we take a look back at his impact on the Circle City, both on and off the field.
And police have made an arrest in a shooting that left an adult and baby dead this weekend. Coming up new at 5, what we know about the woman in custody. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, huge developments in the criminal case against movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. He's expected in court on a new indictment, updated charges in that case. Plus, he wants the entire trial, which is now scheduled for September, moved out of New York City. We'll have all the latest developments today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch all the new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. The time right now is 4:49 on your Monday. We'll be right back. It is 4:53 on your Monday morning, and here's a live look right now in the downtown area. I-65 at Washington Street. You can see traffic in downtown traveling up to speed between the splits. So that is great news for your morning commute. Colts fans facing a future with no luck this morning.
There are mixed reactions as many are frustrated with Andrew Luck's decision to retire. Others, however, respect the star quarterback as he has dealt with numerous injuries these last few seasons. The news this weekend during the Colts' third preseason game against the Bears, Andrew Luck then addressed the media, confirming reports saying it all comes down to injuries, causing him to no longer enjoy the game of football like he once did. He says it is the best decision for himself and for the team to step away from the game of football.
Andrew Luck's surprise retirement means the Colts will have to start looking ahead to a future without him. But the impact that he's had on the Circle City these last 7 years will not be forgotten.
Sports director Dave First takes stock on Luck's influence on the team and community.
It was 2012. In the midst of the city celebrating a Super Bowl, and the house that Peyton built was an opportunity to sit down with then Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck. He refused to get too in-depth about possibly replacing the Hall of Famer, but it was clear the baton was passed. The hope was that it would be for many, many years to come. After the Colts drafted him #1 in New York, Andrew was all in. Helped the team win 11 games his rookie season, the most of any quarterback drafted #1 overall. He also threw for more yards than any rookie in NFL history. His next 2 seasons brought back familiar feelings from the Manning era. After another 11-win season, Luck and the Colts were back in Foxborough, dealing with the Patriots in the divisional playoffs. In 2014, it was another 11-win season while leading the league in touchdown passes before a trip to the AFC title game. Unlike Peyton, Andrew's Colts were never able to solve the riddle that is New England football. Off the field, Andrew was just as impactful. The central figure of Riley Children's Health's Change the Play program. Andrew preached the importance of activity of young people, even threw one of his legendary passes to perhaps the game's next generation. But his own health became the center of attention. Over the years, he suffered rib and kidney injuries, a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder, and most recently, a strained left calf, leading to other ailments. He was able to make a triumphant return just last year and help guide the Colts to another divisional round playoff game. He was named the comeback player of the year that season. It turned out to be his last. Luck leaves as he arrived on his own terms. His only goal now, get 100% healthy for his future and for his family. Dave First, RTV6.
My wife, Nicole.
All right, Todd. Well, maybe it is raining outside because all of Indianapolis is still crying.
All the tears, yeah, certainly was shocking. But all right, outside we are dealing with some showers moving through into the metro area now. Some heavier rain down towards Bloomington. This is just the first of what will be several waves of rain that'll be heading our way over the course of the day today. Temperatures won't really move much at all, but definitely grab the umbrella as you walk out the door here this morning as the rain peaks mid-morning throughout the early afternoon hours, and we taper back off to scattered showers. Showers and storms for the first half of the day tomorrow before we start to clear things out and then get into a beautiful stretch of weather Wednesday through Friday with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the 70s. The time now is 4:56. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.